I think we can start, Mr.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening, everyone. Hoping that you all are safe and healthy in the midst of this pandemic. Let us start today's session. I am Chaudhary Mr. Mahmood Amin, Event Manager Executive of Organizing Community, and your host for today. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today through Zoom. Let us begin today's session with the praise of the most merciful Almighty Allah. So for the recitation from the Holy Quran, I'd like to call upon Zilur Rahman, Secretary, IEEE Power and Energy Society, IISc Student Branch Chapter. Zilur Rahman, can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. Translating the verses, Alif Lam Mim. This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those conscious of Allah, who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, and spend out of what we have provided for them, and who believe in what has been revealed to you, O Prophet, and what was revealed before you, and have sure faith in the hereafter. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Okay, I think our host got disconnected, so let me resume. So thank you so much, Zilur Rahman, for your recitation. IEEE Day 2021 is being celebrated among all organizational units of IEEE at IIUC. IEEE Day is the largest celebration held by IEEE worldwide. IEEE IISc Student Branch, along with its affinity group and all chapters, have organized a series of 12 webinars, 5 contests, and 1 workshop under the title IEEE Day 2021, powered by Ulterior Engineering, in celebration of the IEEE Day this year. Now, engraved in its essence, the IEEE Day 2021's theme is leveraging technology for a better tomorrow. While the world benefits from what's new, IEEE focuses on what's next. Focusing on what's next, one topic that springs our mind is the fourth industrial revolution. So today's panel discussion is based on industry academia collaboration to support fourth industrial revolution, organized by IEEE Robotics and Automation Society, IIUC Student Branch Chapter, and IEEE IIUC Student Branch. Our panel discussion has been enhanced by the presence of our honorable chief guest, Dr. Muhammad Shamimul Haq Chowdhury, Associate Professor, Department of IEEE IUC, and our panelist, Professor Dr. Shelia Shahanas, Department of IEEE BUET, 2018 to June 2021, Chair IEEE Bangladesh Section, Chair IEEE SPS Women in Signal Processing Committee and IEEE WIA History Subcommittee, elected Chair of IEEE WIA Committee, Chair Election 2022. Usman Manwar, Design and Development Engineer, Greenwave Innovation, Saskatchewan, Canada. Asfar Adib Sir, Senior Member of IEEE, PhD student and Graduate Leadership Facilitator, Concordia University, Canada, also former manager of IoT and machine to machine services, Grameenphone Limited. Dr. Imran MD Amin sir, Spectrum Planning Engineer, Australian Communication and Media Authority. Rakibul Islam Chaudhuri sir, software developer at Huawei, Canada. Honorable guests, panelists, it is a pleasure and honor for all of us to have you among us here today. We also have Engineer Ariful Alam, Deputy Manager of Abul Khair Steel Products Limited, among us in the audience section. We are delighted to have you among us, sir. Moving forward, I would like to call our chief guest, Dr. Muhammad Shamimul Haq Chaudhuri, Associate Professor, Department of IEEE IIUC, to convey his opening speech. Sir. Dr. Shamimul Haq, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, sir, I would like to invite you to convey your opening speech.
Okay, thank you. Mushfiqur Rahman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam.
First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this program. We know that this program is organized by IEEE Robotics and Automation Society, IIUC Student Branch Chapter, and IEEE IIUC Student Branch. It is a very great honor for me to spend some time with such a good program, and I would like to thank to the teachers and the students, those who spend time to organize such a good program. And I am very glad to know that today we got very potential resource persons, Mr. Usman Manwar, Mr. Afjar Adib, Dr. Imran Muhammad Amin, and my honorable teacher, Professor Dr. Shelia Shahnaz, and Mr. Rakibul Islam. We all know that the program topic is industry academia collaboration to support fourth industrial revolution. I think industry academia collaboration has a direct impact on the growth of technology and also open research opportunity. And by the collaboration of industry and academia, it can generate skillful manpower for a country. And as a result, it has an impact on the economy of a country. And the key point that I came to know that the discussion key point of today's program is development of content for the engineering studies, especially for Tripoli, ET, and CSE. And also the next topic is research direction and role of industries in research questions. Also, we came to know that also we will have some discussion on active supervision, sponsoring, and lab facilities, upgradation of the teaching learning method, and the role of industries in this respect, and also upgradation of assessment method and role of industries in the assessment system. Actually, these are all are very important topic, not only for the students, but also I think these are more important for the teachers. We all know that the universities of Bangladesh are running for the accreditation. That means we are trying to develop ourselves with qualified engineers. We are trying to develop a system or a syllabus so that we can produce some qualified engineers and qualified students that can contribute to our country, to the development of technology. I hope Today in the program, from our resource persons, guest speakers, we can learn a lot of things, uh, and this will be a fruitful program, I hope. I will not say anymore. I would like to invite our guest speakers and to deliver their speech. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. Now I'd like to request our guests, speakers, and executives and participants to turn on the camera if possible so that we can save some screenshots as a memory of this event.
Screenshot take it, man.
As we're done taking screenshots, now I'd like to call our panel moderator for today's session, Muhammad Mustafa Amir Faisal, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of ETE, IIUC, and Advisor of IEEE Communication Society, IIUC Student Branch Chapter, to take the floor.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. First of all, as a moderator of the program, I would like to invite you all to this exciting panel discussion organized by IEEE IIUC Robotics and Automation Society chapter, along with IEEE IIUC Student Branch. There is not an iota of doubt in my mind that this is going to be an engaging, captivating, and thought-provoking discussion session. The reason why I think so is that the topic of discussion is one of the most relevant and timely issues that needs immediate attention from industry and academia alike. And to discuss the exciting topic, we have some experienced, knowledgeable, and respected panelists that are well-grounded and well-acquainted on the topic at hand. So with this, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers to give me the opportunity to moderate this historical event from the context of IIUC. Thank you very much indeed. So without much further discussion, I would like to go straight into the agenda of this panel discussion. The agenda chosen for this discussion is Industry-Academia Collaboration for Fourth Industrial Revolution. The topic is no doubt very timely and relevant, and I'm sure that as faculty members, students, and industrial personnel, we can take a lots of things away with us from this program and a lots of food for thought for future. To participate in this discussion, we have experienced discussants amongst us who can share their ideas, their experiences, and their knowledge with us. Let me introduce them to you one by one. First of all, we have Mr. Asfar Adib, who is a senior member of IEEE. He is currently working as a PhD student and graduate leadership facilitator of Concordia University, Canada. Previously, he has worked as manager of IoT M2M services of Grameenphone Limited. He has worked on a variety of projects, including the integration of handheld portable printers and the development of Zigbee-based wireless communication systems. And he has extensive experience in IoT-based projects and researches. Next, we have Mr. Usman Monawar with us. He is currently working as a design and development engineer in Greenwave Innovations, and he introduces himself as a data scientist. He has experience in a variety of fields, including smart grid, optimization, machine learning, deep learning, database, data scraping, data mining, data visualization, forecasting and classification applications, time series analysis, sports facilities, illumination design, and smart cities automation applications. I am hoping for an excellent discussion based on his expertise from him. Next, we have Dr. Imran Mohammed Amin, currently working as a spectrum planning engineer of Australian Communication and Media Authority. His prior experience includes wireless tracking of 3G mobile devices for the purpose of determining their location, His areas of interest include radio frequency design engineering, spectrum management, policy development and management, sensing technology, as well as telecommunication, broadcasting, and defense industries. Next, we have Mr. Rakibul Islam Chaudhuri, who is currently working as an embedded software developer at Hawaii, Canada. He is motivated and proficient in C, C++, Python. He has a strong mathematical background and solid programming skills demonstrated by extensive academic MATLAB works. His primary focus at the moment is on embedded software, programming languages, and MATLAB. He has been involved in this field for a long period of time, and we can anticipate an interesting discussion based on his observations. And we can already see that we have a spectrum of different background. We have people from different backgrounds, although all of them are coming from the IEEE background, but all of them have chosen different aspects of the fourth industrial revolution as their expertise. And we, as a result, can expect that this is going to be an interesting discussion. And last but not the least, we have among us the person that needs no introduction in the arena of engineering in Bangladesh, our respected mentor and role model, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz. She truly has been a source of inspiration for many of us, be it faculty member or students. During her tenure as chair of IEEE BDS, she has taken IEEE BDS to newer heights through her dynamic and visionary thinking. She showed how, through dedication, we can achieve things that we sometimes only dream of. Even the very society that is organizing this program is part of her vision, because she insisted that we in IIUC should commence student branch chapters of different societies of IEEE. And you will be amazed to know that even this panel discussion that we are having today is actually arranged by Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz. Some of our students contacted her and she took it upon herself to arrange and invite the guests. We can understand that she finds out time to cater to the appeal of a student branch of one of the many universities of Bangladesh, and she smilingly helps them out. I hope that I have been successful in introducing this dynamic leader of engineering education sector of Bangladesh. And recently, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz has been elected as the chair of IEEE WIE, Women in Engineering. And we pray for her, and we know that she will contribute with the same dedication and intensity that he has worked for our nation. He has worked for the IEEE BDS. She will work with the same intensity and dedication for the IEEE WIE at the international stage, inshallah. She has over 150 international journal and conference papers to her credit. She has been awarded a Canadian Commonwealth Fellowship and Bangladeshi Academy of Science Gold Medal for her contributions to science and technology. Deep learning, pattern recognition, machine learning for audio, video, biomedical and power signals, signal processing for speech analysis and enhancement, multimodal emotion recognition, digital watermarking, audio-visual recognition for biometric security, multimedia communication, control systems, robotics, and humanitarian technology are only some of our research interests. And today we are hoping for an exciting discussion based on her vast experience. So at the end, before going to the panelists for discussion, I would like to request our audience that are present that although fourth industrial revolution is a vast topic, comprehensive topic, and we can discuss a lot of things related to fourth industrial revolution, we will only allow the discussions and questions that are related to we will only allow the questions and discussions that are related to the topic at hand, the agenda at hand, that is industry, university collaboration for fourth industrial revolution. We have an expert team members that will filter out the questions and discussions and throw them to the moderator for possible discussion during the panel discussion session. So with this, I think we are ready to go to the panel discussion. And I would like to first go to our Asfar Adib, Mr. Asfar Adib.
I want to interrupt. Thank you,
yes,
Dr. Mohammad Amir Faisal.
Yes.
Thank you for such a humble introduction. We are already energized. Asfar Adib has just joined. He was in the middle of 5G World Summit. Adib, I was worried that whether we will be able to make it, but thank you for joining. And I didn't see here Usman. Usman, are you here? Maybe in a different name. Arafat, have Usman responded to your email when you have sent the Zoom link? I personally sent him the Zoom link. If
No,
not,
ma'am, it's still no response
Arafat?
from me.
Arafat? Arafat, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he responded that he has received the Zoom link, although I have also sent him personally the Zoom link.
Oh, still, I didn't get any response from him.
No problem. It's a morning now. Maybe he will join. No problem. Now, Mustafa Amir Faisal, we have now at this moment Imran Amin, Dr. Imran Amin, Rakibul Chaudhary, and Asfar Adib, and also myself with your to really contribute. So if Osman joins, then we will listen to him. So I'm just give you an idea that we're present here. So thank you for interacting. You can go ahead with your so much enthusiasm and that we feel energized and hope we will live up to your expectation to serve your students. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the information. So we have amongst us Dr. Imran Amin, Mr. Asfar Adib, and Professor Dr. Celia Shahna's ma'am so far. I think we can start our discussion from here.
Rakibul also. I think Rakibul also.
Okay, I request.
Yes, Rakibul is here.
Host, can you please make him in the in sections? Okay. Thank you. Okay, we have Mr. Rakibul also with us here. Okay, so we are ready to go, I think. I want to start with Mr. Asfar Adib. What do we actually mean by this fourth industrial revolution?
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mustafa Amir. Am I audible clearly? Just to check, can everyone hear me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So firstly, it's wonderful to be here and with so many respected and my host faces. And again, congratulations to Professor Dr. Sina, Madam. Madam has made all of us proud, the entire country proud. And it's such a good time to be in even IEEE event. We had two biggest achievements for the country. Dr. Saifur Sir becoming the IEEE president and Selim Madam becoming the women engineering president. So it cannot be a better time actually to be here. And especially with IIUC, where I had the chance to visit back in 2018 with another event. So it's great to see the anniversary of IIUC. So coming back to the point of fourth industrial revolution. So it's actually a common term we have been hearing for long this term. And I would just like to highlight on the current scenario of the COVID pandemic. So I think this pandemic, it caused us a lot of sufferings. At the same time, I don't think I should use the word good, but it does have sort of little positive impacts. That's in terms of digitalization. So I guess that digitalization we had in the last 1.5 years, our method of working and everything, this is remarkable. And now I guess we are in a scenario that we hardly need to explain anyone, be it technical or any other background, about the fourth industrial revolution, because people know that in order to survive, we have to be technology focused. So the way the world is moving now, we are communicating over Zoom, over online conferences, we're studying online, we are working online. So in last 1.5 years, the world has totally transformed. And that is the reality of fourth industrial revolution. It's a digitalized world. We have to make the best use of technology in our everyday activities. The best example is right here, that I have the privilege to joining your event from Canada, and we have speakers from other parts of the world, Imran from Australia, Rakibul from also Canada. So this is the thing that fourth industrial revolution has made us possible. And for our end, the job is to make the best utilization of this one. And just one point, I guess I have already spent my 2 minutes for it, so I just finish it quickly. Another point is the educational system, the way it's changing. I still remember back in when I was in Bangladesh up to 2019, and as I was saying, I had the chance to visit in IEEE. So at that time, we had a lot of discussion about interdisciplinary collaboration, and we really needed to explain people how it works. But now we are in a time that we are facing questions, like even here in North America, we see students asking us that, what is the importance of university education? Because we are now in a virtualized world, we can learn from anywhere. So the fourth industrial revolution and industrial collaboration, these are now the demand of that time. I guess we have crossed that time when we have to convince people. Now we have to deliver. It's time for us to deliver and make the best possible support. So maybe I will tell more on that, but I pause for a while, and so I would like to learn from the other speakers as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to go on to our Mr. Rakibul to have some of the idea, what are some of the technologies that are actually making the fourth industrial revolution possible? Just we need to know some of the names of the technologies that are actually helping us to go towards the fourth industrial revolution.
Well, I guess like COVID, it has brought up like dramatic change in fourth industrial revolution, because like previously we have never thought that I would be present in Bangladesh from Canada. I'm talking in front of like 80 brilliant minds here. So it has brought the world together. I guess like it made the world very small, you know. Like I'm working in telecommunication field right now, so we are working on like next generation routing protocols, and because you know currently the data is so heavy, everyone needs the bandwidth, and to manage everything, we need a better like routing protocols and better telecommunication, better speed. So I guess like how we are consuming the data, how we are processing it, because in the field of when we have very large data, it's like useless if we can't bring out the information out of the data. So the processing
Mr. Rakibul, sorry to interrupt. Are you listening to me? And the audio is actually not clear from your end. I think most of the audiences are experiencing this. If you think the
yes, I can listen.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah. Okay. I think I have some problem with my Wi-Fi. Let me try again. I'll be reconnecting soon.
Okay. Okay. We can move towards maybe Dr. Mohammed Imran Amin to carry on the discussion further. So we are discussing about the concept of fourth industrial revolution, and we have already understood that there are different technologies that are coming, and he has talked with respect to routing protocols and other things. So there are many details that we can talk about when we go in details. So for example, we have things like IoT coming up. We have things like database management systems coming up. We have things like data analytics, big data, robotics, many things that are coming up with fourth industrial revolution that are enabling this fourth industrial revolution. Can you shed some light from your experience there working as a spectrum management engineer? I mean, how are the wireless community or the cellular mobile communication community, how are they reacting to the fourth industrial revolution, or what are they doing to make this possible?
Thank you. Firstly, I would start off by thanking Mohammad Mustafa Amir Faisal sir for inviting me, as well as Shamim Haq sir, our chief guest for today's event, for inviting me to this event. And I always look forward to Celia Madam's invitations. Whenever I see an opportunity to shed some light, I try to help them. And again, congratulations to Celia Madam for making us proud in the global arena. And as Far said, it's a really good time to be energized and work together in some visionary platforms like IEEE, who is really connecting everyone together. And as we are talking about industry and academia collaboration, and how we can put work, and IEEE is sets of good examples like today, like how we are engaging together in one platform and sharing our views. So that's why I think it's really good to salute IEEE. Now, going to the topic, just before I start the topic of my angle of how I see industry academia revolution, industry 4 revolution, as well as industry academia collaboration, I'll just try to see where I'm coming from, so it's easier for everyone to understand, because I have a bit of U-turns in my career as well. So after completing my my bachelor's in BUET, I was a lecturer at BUET, and then I moved to Australia for my PhD. After finishing PhD, I worked at the MIT as a research visiting researcher and in Massachusetts. After that, I actually moved to in industry, worked there for a few years as an R&D engineer, and now currently I have moved a bit of in the policy area in the government. So I'm working with the government as like a government's policy or planning engineer. And also some of my works are with ITU, which is the International Telecommunication Union. So I'm currently doing a seminar with ITU who is in headquartered in Geneva, as well as I am advisor with some of the local councils in Australia, helping with them to their smart city or smart IoT roadmap and helping them with policy and technology advising. So all in all, where I see myself, first of all, Industry 4 revolution, and then I'll definitely want to talk about industry academic collaboration. Industry 4 revolution, how I see in because I come from a communications background engineer. It's not only one technology. So when we talk about Industry 4 revolution, so Industry 1 revolution was in 1840s. It was steam engine. Industry 2 mostly was about electricity and some other technologies. Industry 3 was basically computers and more in late 20th century, which is the evolution of computers and making things computerized. Now, when we talk about Industry 4, it's basically, as both Adib and Rakibul said, it's more how we combine everything and get huge data and do the data analytics and have more powerful decisions out of everything, starting from any small things like communication to the main core of Industry 4 was in industries. So how we automate the industries and how we automate the supply chain, how we automate the business, and use this whole power of AI and ML to take more profound business decisions. So that's what Industry 4 is. So the crux of the matter is it's not one single technology, but it's a technology which kind of overlaps a lot of area or facets. And definitely communication and communication infrastructure is one of them, because we are working with, as we know, 5G. Then we have 6E Wi-Fi coming as well pretty soon, and other communication technologies are coming. The need for industry and academic collaboration, I think that would be one of the areas I want to focus later on. Definitely we'll come again on that. Is very much important in this particular Industry 4, and I really like this topic because this is new both for the industries, and definitely it's new for the research academics as well as for students. So there is need some of rethinking how we scope of the problem and how we discuss the challenges and how we focus our mindsets from our individual levels. When I say individual levels, how the industry would cater or look into these issues or challenges for Industry 4 and make the best use of it. That's a challenge for them. At the same time, how academics or education institutions change their, whether you talk about syllabus, curriculum, mindset, is also would be important. So that, I think, would be one of my inputs I would like to give from my experience in the later discussion. So I'll end at this point now and maybe discuss later. Thanks.
Thank you so much for the inputs. And I think as you are working with the policy making, there are a lot of policies that we can discuss about how the university policies should adapt themselves with respect to the fourth industrial revolution. So now we would like to come to Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz ma'am. We have understood that the fourth industrial revolution for the industries is going to automate the industries, and the main drive behind this is the efficiency, increasing the efficiency of the industries and making more profits. And because the industries are profit driven, they are commercial areas, they want to maximize their profit. So whatever automation we can do, whatever intervention of machines we can put into it, the more efficiency we get and more incomes or the more profits they can generate. So we have understood the fourth industrial revolution concept in a nutshell. Now we would like to go to the other facet of our title, the industry university collaboration. And we understand that this collaboration term is relatively newer term in Bangladesh. The people from the industries and the universities, we still don't grasp the whole idea of what does it mean by industry university collaboration. We think of it as a big term. Sometimes we overemphasize it, or we make it very big, so big that we do not approach it at all. So can you summarize or break it down for us so that we can understand what is industry academic collaboration mean?
Thank you. Thank you, Mohammad Mustafa Amir Faisal. I like to thank IIUC student branch, especially robotics student branch chapter, and all the esteemed faculty members really supporting the students to go forward with such a visionary panel, which is very timely. So it's timely in a sense, the way you are congratulating me. The most important point we are missing, that I need to do it, and I need to do it for my country, staying in Bangladesh. I don't live in Australia, United States, or Canada. And so the barrier is so high, only Almighty can measure it, and Almighty is the only source of providing this opportunity and honor. But so that means it's an example that how the barrier can be broken, and you cannot break the barrier unless you create a support system. The support system like Dr. Imran Amin, support system like Aswar Adib, the support system like Rakibul, who are directly involved in the collaboration. So although I had to do it for my nation, staying in Bangladesh, which is impossible to imagine, but we had envisioned collaboration between and among the people who are living in Australia and Canada. This is a good example of collaboration. Now coming to the industry academia collaboration. You know, we think as an academician that we need to do very well in the exam to have a very good CGPA, but at the same time, we want to go to a country for higher study where you cannot enter a good school without being involved in co-curricular activities from your early level. So that's the contradiction and concept. And also in our industry, we think that industry people does not need any research and innovation. And many people think that I have a very good bad CGPA. I don't want to tell any CGPA bad. A CGPA cannot be bad. A person, a student or a girl or a boy did not work so hard, so the CGPA boiled down to low. So we cannot say that he or she is a bad student, but it's a concept he or she has, that he has a very good bad score. He cannot go to the academia, so he should go to the industry, as if after going to the industry, he does not need to any work, no hard work, no research, no innovation, no writing papers. But if you see the scenario of the global IEEE, there are a lot of IEEE members, technical leaders who are from industry. There are a lot of IEEE fellows who are from industry. Even our IEEE president, Karen, was from industry. So that's a conception or perception problem exists in our country, in academia and in industry. So industry academia collaboration, and also we go to the industry when we want to organize any conference, because we need to support our authors with a very expensive bag as a registration card, and we have to give a very big lavish gala dinner. That's when we go to the industry. So, but we have to always convince our industry people. Who are our industry people? I can see your sponsors, right? I can see you have seen powered by some industry. So this is the concept of the collaboration. Now they are supporting our events, and only thing is that they have to support our competitions, our quizzes, our research projects, and not only that, why they will support. If we just go, please give us money. No, there should be a vision. What is the vision? We must tell our university that what is the problem you want to really solve in your industry. Please give that problem to a faculty like me, and I have a 5 or 6 group of students. We can solve your problems. If we can approach in that way, so it's a very good. Then now they're supporting our events, supporting our conference, but it should not be just a one-time webinar or a IEEE day or a IIUC organized conference. IIUC will be organizing in a conference either February or March. This should not be like that. We really need to sit to the industry people to know what is their problem, how they can solve the problem, because majority of those industry people think that they don't need to study, they need to do it, they do not need to any research and innovation, but an industry cannot flourish without research and innovation. To really, we have missed all revolutions. Literally, Bangladesh and subcontinent has missed all revolutions. We don't want to miss this fourth industrial revolution, like machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, smart cities, smart community, IoT, healthcare, telemedicine. So it is important to take the problem from the industry and solve it to a faculty member, to a through a group of students, because it is very important. Then our students will leave their tuition because they will have a scope of doing internship to that university. In tuition, they cannot write it in their CV, but if they do internship, they can write it. And at the same time, as a young faculty, you really need to vision to have a good postdoctoral position. And for a good postdoctoral position in your CV, it is really important to have an industry project for successful implementation to remain current to the rest of the world. As a Buet professor, if I think that tomorrow I will set up a company, everybody will laugh at me. A professor is trying to run a company. She became a businessman. But you know, if you go to the Bay Area, a professor cannot think he or she will not have a company. It is a disgrace that ultimately my alumni, not everybody will be academician like me. They should be entrepreneurs. They should not be employed anywhere. They will be employer. So that's the collaboration. If you think that your students are very much enthusiastic to take the challenge and they like real life project, then we, from the university, from the very beginning, we should really go for industry. I can say that I am connected to many students. One of the famous one is Jafi Shafi Chaudhry. He has done remarkable things in terms of entrepreneurship, solving many real life problems. So we really need to encourage our students, encourage our faculty member, encourage our alumni who are serving in the industry. These are the three stakeholders. We have to sit together, and our industry partner should be very much enthusiastic to be supporting us, to support us, and to be our co-authors. They need to realize that they can be, because they are really contributing huge, but their contribution is nowhere archived. I told Adib so many times, Adib, you have a huge experience. but not a single experience is documented in IEEE Explore as an industry expert, as a research papers. So our industry people also need that they are really doing very great job, but they're not understanding their own value. Their expertise should be documented in terms of research and innovation papers and patent, and it is the academician who will help them. So this is my meaning for whole industry academia collaboration. A lot of motivation, a lot of volunteer hours without losing hope for a second, because you have to remember you are completely going against the perception of the whole society, and you want to reshape the concept if you want to really embrace the fourth industrial revolution. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Sida Shahnaz ma'am. I think not only you described what does it mean by industry academia collaboration, but you also tried to exemplify through research problem, through industrial trainings, through giving the students or the faculty members some research problems to solve. So it is like what I've understood, that it is like the industries are, driving or leading the economy of a country, and the intellectuals are there in the universities, those who are having the expertise, and they are waiting for solving many problems that the industries are facing. But if we do not engage our intellectuals in the whole process of solving the problems, the upcoming challenges, then we will lag behind as a nation in the international arena, because the economy depends on the industries, and the industry, they can only create a difference if they take the intellectuals into their domain or into their research team. So we should not spend much more time in this discussion. I only want to go to Rakibul for a few moments, just to exemplify how they are actually experiencing, or how are they practicing this industry academic collaboration in their arena in Canada. If you can share some examples with us. Rakibul.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes, clear.
Perfect. Okay, sorry about the last time. So here, I was here first as a student, master's student. So when I was a student, I saw especially undergraduate students here, they go for co-op for almost a year, like for 16 months or 12 months at least. So they get a really good chance to see what's going on in the industry. The employer, they know that the students might not know everything. The students is new, but they teach them how to solve the they starts with very easy problems, maybe from designing a PCB, or soldering, or using how to use hot air gun, like very small things like that. But eventually they get a whole picture of how things work in a very large scale. For example, as a student, we create a lot of prototypes, which even in Bangladesh, I've seen a lot of our projects, lab projects especially, was only confined within the lab. We made protocols and that's it. Like Celia Shahnaz ma'am was talking about Jafir Bhai. He was immediate senior to me, and I've seen him. He brought one of his lab projects from prototype to an industrial product. So to get the idea, it's not easy, but because if you make a lab prototype, it's just one thing. If you get your exact graph, whatever you want, you will take a snapshot and that's done. But in industry, it's like you are making thousands of copies of such things. And for each copy, there might be different problems. So you have to have the problem solving skill, which is really important. And I've seen undergraduate students here doing co-op for 16 months, and they learn those problem solving skills because, while we are in the lab, we don't get that much opportunity to explore so many problems because it's just limited time, 6 months or 4 months a semester. So when you work under a supervisor for a year or 16 months. You get the opportunity to explore different sorts of problems with a single product. I guess this helps a lot to get an idea of what I'm going to see next after my graduation. I'm not sure if in Bangladesh it's, the opportunity is still here, but I've seen a lot of people who are doing internship or co-op at abroad. Because it's now like all virtual, all online. So you can even do your internship at Google, staying in Bangladesh. So I guess these opportunities, and to be honest, no one will come to you and give you the opportunity. You have to avail it by yourself. So you have to like go beyond your comfort zone and avail those opportunities.
Thank you, Mr. Akil. I think Dr. Imran Amin, he wanted to add something to this discussion of industry academia collaboration, and he can also talk with respect to what is happening in Australia and how are they approaching the fourth industrial revolution with respect to industry academic collaboration, and what do they understand by industry academic collaboration there. Shortly.
Yeah. Thanks for the floor, Professor Amir Faisal. Again, as I was saying about academic and industry collaboration, I just wanted to say, firstly, when it comes to Industry 4 revolution, this is very important to understand that this is new for both industries and academics. Okay, so when I say this is new, one thing you need to keep in mind that it encompasses everything. Just let's take an example that you want to make your industry, just take any industries in Bangladesh, for example, garments industry, okay, which is we know of it. So garments industry more smart. What it means, there are machines which are 20 years old, 30 years old, hasn't been maintained. There are people who's not really following the rules. And if you go to any garments, they're mostly not the top-notch garments, but the other garments industries, they don't follow a lot of protocols, safety measures, and the worker efficiency, counting the wastage is not very digitalized. So if you start digitalizing, you'll see this sort of problem, like this problem of automation, and it's not uncommon in other countries as well. We have to say I don't want to say that it's only for Bangladesh, for other countries as well. So any sort of manually handled industry, if you want to start automating, you'll see problems. It's not only this sort of problem you cannot define to a particular area of study. That's what I'm trying to point out. This is not an electrical engineering problem. This is not a computer science engineering problem. This is not an IP problem. This is not a mechanical engineering problem. This is not a mechatronics problem. This is problem for everyone. That's very interesting to understand. When it comes to Industry 4 revolution, this is not a problem only for engineers only, and not talk about any particular engineer like IEEE, IT, and CSE. So all the engineers has to come together. Then it's a supply chain problem. This is a business problem. This is sometimes this is a HR problem as well, because a lot of people are very skeptical to adopt new technologies. Yeah, so you have to deal with them, how you train them, and blah blah blah. So it's a very, very interesting issue. So now what I want to come to point now, when it comes to academic, how I see academics or universities are the platform where you get skilled people for the industry who can work in the industry and help the industry to solve their problems. Yeah. Now the skilled people, we are making streamlined, like these are electrical engineers, these are IT engineers, these are mechanical engineers. And if you look into the academics as well, he's a professor in IEEE, this is a professor in IT, this is a professor in mechanical engineering, he's a professor in business, he's a professor in supply chain. So now you see what the problem is. The problem is the traditional universities are not set for this. So traditional universities, how how the academics as well as the researchers as well as the students are coming out, they're not it's not multidisciplinary. So number one, mindset has to be changed, how we make it multidisciplinary. And that's why you'll see the concept like center of excellence, the center of excellence, innovation hub. These are really, really, really important. So the first point I wanted to make is I have seen both in, you've talked about MIT and a lot of big universities, like I graduated from Monash University, they have multiple center of excellences, okay? Within the engineering faculties, they have the engineering center of excellence, which is all engineers encompassing. Then they have like with business and engineering, they have like arts and engineering and so much, you know, diverse, cross-functional institutions to work together. Now, this is the first thing. What they're doing, they're creating a space. They're creating a space for the academics from multidisciplines to come together and talk about what they're doing. And then they find out, oh, you're doing this and I'm doing that. So then we can all bunch together and solve this problem. At the same time, this is a space where they invite the industry groups, industries together to come together and talk about their problems and whether they can, you know, make any match. Like it's basically a matchmaking, so match where they can create you know, good problems and offer solutions. Okay, at the same time, there are new research avenues coming out. These are not a research topic for a particular department. This is a research topic where number of departments, number of faculties are working together. So this is the first fundamental mindset you see needs to be changed, and this is a good collaboration that we need to look for. So that's basically, I think this is a good bunch of topic, and we can discuss it. And with the, I can give floor to other members. And now, if you come back to a lot of other universities, what's happening? It's not only for this Industry 4 revolution, but there is a good trend happening in countries like Australia and USA. Is when students, they're doing undergrads, they're not only doing their bachelor's in one discipline. So it's very common and very popular to do at least second degree. So if you do 4 years bachelor's and a 1 year in commerce, like engineering plus commerce, you get an engineering plus commerce degree, or engineers plus IT, or, you know, business, or, you know, economics. So this is very common. Students find it is really useful for them to go to any industry. They have a lot of industry to choose from, and statistics have shown that they are performing well when they go out in the industry, whether an engineer goes to a bank to work, or you know, or accountant coming to work in an IT company. It's really useful for them to, you know, go to and navigate to in different areas in their career life. So which is what another interesting part I can share, which is happening. And I think the last thing I would say, Professor Sadia has already mentioned, but I just wanted to point on that, is internships. Okay, it's really important to do internships and really good internships, because one of the main reasons you'll find not only Bangladesh, not only in outside, but also Bangladesh as well, we are we are creating good engineers, good good bachelor degrees. We are having a lot of bachelor degrees in engineering and other disciplines, but they are not really skillful or trained to work in industry. So what I mean is the grooming, the training, the student or the graduate needs after they have, you know, graduated. A lot of industries cannot afford it, frankly speaking. So there needs to be a mechanism, and internship is that mechanism. Internships, placements, or whatever, there are different names in all of the world, is really important to get that going. So this is very important, and I can say internships are good for industries because industry can solve a lot of their problems. But again, this needs a lot of matchmaking, and I think there needs to be done a lot of work before that. But I can just share. I'm just shared a few things from my end, what I have seen, very effective. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Mustafa, I just want to add one comment. Actually, this interdisciplinary nature is very much important, right? I started my research with signal processing. I graduated with Fortran language, right? And when I almost finished, I learned C, C++. Then also MATLAB in my master's, in my PhD master's. At the end of my PhD, when I returned, then I started learning this Python and those things. And now the work that I started after my PhD with machine learning approaches, now the deep learning came. So I have to adopt myself. But that means I don't really believe, although I'm from a EEE, but you know, these are tools that can be impressed by CSE, that can be impressed by ET, that can be by mechanical, environmental engineer, mechanical engineer, industrial production engineers, anyone. So these tools of fourth industrial revolution is a really good platform for cross-disciplinary research. This is a division of EEE CSE is so much prominent in our Bangladesh that, and that's actually a very dreadful thing for our future. Although for the purpose of curricula, we may have a EEE, we may have a CSE, we may have a ET, but we, in terms of research, in terms of transforming your project ideas into product, we should never think of our EEE, CSE, these divisions, because at the ultimately it is the technology, and ultimately you are the engineering students. Ultimately, you are the learners. So learning can be done anyone. You know, I have a capacity that I am a professor in EEE department, but my brain has an abundant, huge capacity. So I can get knowledge from any discipline. Just one example, I was doing in DSP project, biomedical instrumentation lab. I was taking a lab, and then there was a problem. I told that bilirubin estimation, bilirubin level estimation and jaundice detection. And device was doing like some ray, using some LED and those rays. So I thought that no, usually in Bangladesh, what happens? Even a neonatal, my son, when he was born, he had a jaundice. And you think about a newborn, you have to take the blood and wait for the result. That means it's an invasive technique. But think about women who are living in the hill tracts. That means if jaundice is there, he or she needs to come to the city center to give the blood with a neonatal baby and wait for days to get the result. So this is the concept that you have to really transform such things into non-invasive way. So to do non-invasive, what we have to do, we have to take the image of the sclera, because we really want to measure the yellowness of the eye. So that what we need a structure, so that Bangladesh has community clinic everywhere. We don't need our hill tracts women to come to the city center in the Chittagong. Even in the community clinic, she can come with a baby and rest the skin of the baby in front of a smartphone and give the image, and the image should, that means you need a chin rest, a mechanical structure. And also for camera, you need a adjustable height stand to capture your image. So that means you need a knowledge of mechanical, knowledge of image processing, and then data sent to the server for deep learning for process. You need computer vision techniques, and then wireless. By wireless, the doctor can access the server and do the analysis and then send the medication to the mom in the hill tracts. So you need, this is the whole structure. So to really have a vision of such industry academia collaboration and such interdisciplinary research, what we just need to bring ourselves out of the black box. Then we can really complete the whole cycle. Otherwise, everybody will think about LED light, somebody will think about the structure, somebody will think about the sclera processing, somebody will think about the deep learning, and it will never come to a complete product. Although I was a EEE professor, but in my lab for a project, I try to solve a real life problem so that we can afford such a portable device. So to every new net, to every mother who are suffering from jaundice, and that must be non-invasive, that must be portable, and that must be cheap. So let us start from your class and complete the whole cycle. Although if you are from a CSE professor, don't think. You have to always think about the data structure and networking. At first, think about the problem around you and try to provide these technological solutions. When you want to try to provide technological solution, automatically you have to take the knowledge of the computer vision, image processing, mechanical structure, LED focusing, optical image processing, everything, and also sometimes the fabrication. So this is my request to all young faculty to guide our students so that they feel inspired to transform their project into product. Thank you for the interruption.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz and Dr. Imran Amin. And we have understood how a policymaker thinks and how he contributed to change the policies of the universities. I can see that the industry personnel that are present in this discussion can take a lots of notes from here, because actually what is happening here, the universities are arranging conferences, universities are arranging these discussions, industry-university collaboration. Actually, it should be other way around. It is their stake, not the university's stake, actually. The universities, they are running, we are running with students, we are having students, we are getting them out, but we are not helping you. We cannot help you because we are not getting problems from you. We are not getting any inputs from you. And sometimes when even we approach through these discussions, we should get some access in your industries. So through research problems, through industrial trainings, through short courses, through problem sharing. So for example, discussion sessions from time to time. And it is actually industry's responsibility to let us know what problem they are facing. Although we are arranging discussions from time to time from university setting, and Professor Dr. Imran Amin, he has shared how these sessions can actually shape the policies of universities. He has said that the Australian universities have already gone to engineering plus commerce degrees, engineering plus other degrees. Why? Because the demand is such. And when the university, the industries will come and tell us that we are facing these and these problems, actually the subjects, the problems that do not come with a tag, that I am an electrical engineering problem, I am a computer science problem, they come as problems. And we have some specializations in EEE domain, in electronics domain, in telecommunication domain. But when we have a problem, if they are interdisciplinary in nature, then the industry should approach the university faculties will go together or get together, and then they will try to come up with a solution. They can even generate new programs to handle those problems and new researches to handle those problems. I think that's the correct way. Like Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz has given a practical example for how the problems should direct our research, not the other way around. Actually, we are doing research for the sake of research, maybe for the sake of publication, maybe for the sake of promotion, but that actually doesn't lead to anywhere. That just a waste of paper, waste of time, waste of effort, because we are not seeing that our intellectual exercises are bringing any benefit to even the people that are around us. So that's how we should think from university perspective. We should take our individual research projects, and furthermore the industries as the discussion is related to fourth industrial revolution, the industry should approach us and tell us that what are the problems, what are the challenges that they are going to face, and how they are feeling the challenges, and how should we help them in the whole process. So thank you very much for your inputs. And now I think we can go into more direct discussions. I think we have already taken a lot of time, and although we could not go subject by subject, I think all of these topics, they are somehow covered. They are going, we are covering all of them, all of the topics that we are planning to discuss. So now we can go to some specific topics. So first of all, I want to excite the point about the research. I think I have already found some of the comments from the industry personnel that are present here. Someone named Arif Islam, he has said that R&D, okay, sorry to join. The research and development, most of the industries have a division called research and development, and they have that department, but they only work within themselves. They never share their ideas with the universities and he has shared that this will actually help them in the process. So these are the ideas that we are sharing from these types of programs, that you will get the idea that you can actually outsource the problem to us, and we can actually help you out in solving the problems. And sometimes free of cost, maybe, because the university students, they are looking for projects to do. They are looking for problems to solve. And we in the industry, this only helps us gain more experience as teachers, and we can update our contents, we can update our syllabuses to prepare accordingly, prepare our students accordingly to solve those problems. So I think we can direct our speech or the discussion where specific topic, how the industries can help us in researching. How can they give us problems? How can they, participate in supervising the students? How can they participate in maybe giving lab facilities, maybe funding the researchers for their own benefit? How can they help us in gaining this research culture with industry-university collaboration? I would like to go to Mr. Asfar Adib. He has just joined us from the 5G Summit, I guess. So please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Mustafa. And that was a really great question in nowadays, we do see R&D departments in many organizations in Bangladesh, but the question is how much impactful they are becoming. So maybe I can share a little bit of my experience. I used to work in Bangladesh telecom sector. I worked for around 8.5 years. So that was really a great experience. And since I used to work in Grameenphone, which is a part of a global telecommunication group. So I had some observation when this question comes that yes, there is an official R&D department or maybe some sort of lab or whatsoever, but what is actually they're doing with the rest of the country, with the universities? So actually culture is also a good part here, because in Bangladesh, as Madam was telling at the beginning, that firstly, we need to be aware of our abilities. We need to be confident that we can make some change. Traditionally, we have been a tech follower country mostly. And that is more true for sectors like telecom or maybe some other sectors, that we have been more comfortable to import technology from some other country and to just implement it rather than trying to make our own innovation. So I should say, being a former worker in the Bangladesh telecommunications sector, that I also fall in that category. Maybe I can also be partially blamed for that we have been sort of lethargic in that case. We have been remain mostly comfortable to just import, deploy, and then celebrate that success rather than trying to promote our own innovation. And of course, we have both local and multinational companies. For multinational companies, they are highly governed by the global body. So they really have to make sure that they are convincing their global superiors that, yes, we can do innovation in Bangladesh. We just need to import from here. Bangladesh is not just for taking profit from people and giving the revenue. It's also based on innovation. So that's one thing, the culture. We need to be confident about ourselves, both from industry and also from the academia, by events like these, which IEEE with Celia Madam and you all have been trying for long. We really have to give the right help to industry that yes, it's time for change. Now is the time for change, as we were saying. So that's one part. And also on note of that, maybe I can share some specific examples. For instance, today we are talking in an IIUC event, so great to be here. And IIUC is located in Chattogram. So Chattogram is the commercial heartland of Bangladesh. We have the port there, and we have a lot of other very important industry there. So it is the commercial capital of Bangladesh, it's the heartland of Bangladesh. Now, question is, we have so many industries, and we have this big port, one of the biggest one in South Asia. So how much we are being able to contribute there technologically? Still, this whole port management is a big problem for Bangladesh. I still see the news that it takes 3 days for something to come to the port, and it takes 6 days for that thing to come from Chittagong to Dhaka. So that is really ridiculous that in this digitalization, when we are talking here in a Chittagong University about 14th Industrial Revolution, at the same time, right here in Chattogram, in the port, they are still using those traditional paper-based processes to track things. And they are losing their time, they're losing their efficiency, and the entire country is actually suffering for that. So it's our duty to reach them. It should be bidirectional, but we should go to them, to the government, to the other authorities that look, the world is changing. We have to do better. We have to do automation. We have so many things. This IoT technologies advancing, 3G, 4G, 5G, everything. So we can help you. We can make you things better. So I think it's a bidirectional conversation. Maybe from academia, the steps has to be taken to give that confidence that yes, in Bangladesh, we are capable of delivering things. We just need to import devices from certain countries and implement them. and then pay back all the revenue, we can develop here. And people like you, like in IUC, these wonderful young people with the guidance of Madam and the people here, Imran, Rakibul, who can contribute a lot from outside. So together, I guess we can make things better. Thank you.
I want to give one example. Adib, you have raised such a valid point that this COVID has started, right? COVID is a huge source of industry-academia collaboration. Then COVID started, suddenly there are a lot of businessmen, they started importing disinfection robots and to give it to our mayor office and other public areas. At that time, when those new businessmen, they developed in this country, that time we are academicians and people think that we are poor. So I wrote to IEEE and Jakaria, Lamia, our very esteemed robotics experts, they helped us. And, you know, we got around $5,000. What is the concept? That we will train our students to build, to design how to have a disinfection robots. We want to create the capacity of our students, our faculties, where there are a lot of people who are convincing our government office that they will import disinfection robots and sell it in the country. But what we are thinking to change the whole scenario, to do the capacity building, think about if we come up with a single design and that is effective, at least after the lockdown is over, that will be used in our university campus. Our students can see that they didn't wait for a PhD, their undergraduate degree. They have employed it along with their mentors, and the disinfection robots are now moving in their campus. And then you can convince your city corporation to use it in public places. And this is one example. And second, I was involved in a consultancy work in the dockyard. I went to Narangan shipyard for electrical wiring design of different workshops. I was responsible for designing one workshop. And going there, I found there are a lot of cranes, and those are manually moving without any care of the health hazards of the employer. And everybody is taking connection for the crane from the grid. Is it possible to take uninterrupted power supply from the grid to run those cranes without any automation? There is the scope of industrial accommodation. You can run those crane using solar power without depending on the grid. This is the offer you can give your Chittagong port also. The fleets is very difficult. Those bringing those goods in the fleetways and bringing it to the trucks. And secondly, problem of power that you have to take it from the solar. Secondly, why it is manual? How it is possible that such man movement it should be artificial intelligence and machine learning to control them based on the load. So third, where is the ICT training of the employers about those arcing, about those welding, what are the health hazards you need? So this is the two important things happened in my life during the lockdown, and where I really appeal those stakeholders that give us some money. Give us some money. We can really make a wonder with our students and young faculty members. And I can tell you, if you write those ideas into papers, you can publish more impactful journals with impact factor 10, because you are involving a local data and local community. So this is very important. Whenever some problem arises, then a lot of business started to import things from outside. But it is important to involve our academicians, students, and our alumni like Imran, Rakibul, and Afzar Adi to guide us, to mentor us, to include us, to really design by our student. And give a good business model, to give confidence to the entrepreneurs, yes, money will be coming, but your capacity building should be important criteria. Increasing the skill set of the community is a great vision. And we have to really make ourselves identify those problems, as Aviv said, in the port area, in the dockyard area, in the different parks where you can really implement those solar, and also sea. In the sea, there are a lot of boats, and those boats need their solar power for charging their battery, running their engine for their cooking. Can you tell that how many sea boats have solar power implemented in their top? If you start doing it, it will be a never-ending project for our faculty members, because we have the largest unbroken sea beach and we have a lot of fishing community. And even after the fish comes to our land, majority of the fishes are rotten because there is no storage system. We have sanitation, we have latrine, but we don't have a small storage system every house. And you never think that you will give a solar powered small tuk-tuk to your wife, to your sister, so that she can vendor it to the local community to contribute to the family. So these are three problems. I'm really thinking about it, and I expect all the help from your universities, students, a diversified community to join the project, and also help from Adi, Rakibul, Imran Amin to implement these three very important real life projects, starting from disinfection robots. Secondly, automatic hand sanitizer. Can you guarantee that every children in the rural community of Chittagong has the sanitizer, has any soap? No. So it is our time to really develop this automatic hand sanitizer to deploy in the rural community. Secondly, our fishing industry. And third, our women's social entrepreneurship, by involving them with their husband so that the fishes are not rotten, and we can have at least like a freeze. We have a solar powered storage system in our community, in our every village, like a tubel. Every home has a toilet. Every home has a tubel. Every home in the Bay Area, in the seashore area, should have a solar powered storage system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz, ma'am. I think you have emphasized the idea that the universities, although we are talking about industry-university collaboration, but the universities, they themselves can become small industries. And small industries in the fact that we have many problems that we ourselves can solve. And I think the IIUC students, they have already taken some initiatives in that effect. I can share that with you, that we are trying to build some community campaigns where the students will go to their community, their own local community, and they will try to find out the problems that they can solve within their limits, or they can at least propose that we can solve this problem. For example, there are water congestion problem in Chittagong. This is a huge problem. But there are many universities here, but we are not speaking about this. We can at least propose. We can develop prototypes. We can develop some models, and we can propose. Because the industries, we do not need industries to work on this. We can ourselves develop. Start the project and propose the solutions. So this is a very good discussion, I think, and the university, from the university faculty members and the students, we should take our own initiatives in this regard. And this is here Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz Madam has given many examples so far regarding this. And I would like to go to Dr. Imran Amin concerning the fact that from the policy part, the industries in Bangladesh, do you think that they should revise their policy of outsourcing the researchers to the universities? And how would they get benefited from this? Because many industry personnel are here, I think they need to understand why should they outsource the research to the universities.
Thank you again. I think we are having a really good discussion and a lot of points to discuss. And you asked really good questions. Like you're giving the ball in industry's court and asking why, how they can do it. Before that, answering that question, because I'm working in an industry, I had really good insights of how industry runs. And when you talk about an industry, yeah, it's really uh, good. And from outside perspective, it's really sometimes so sounds really good that we can help them for industry R&D. We have students to for both from them, but one of the key things what industry is really scared about and what they're really looking for example, IP. Okay, they need to protect their ideas, they need to protect their prototypes, they need to have a really good structure of how it will be protected. And this is some unfortunately this is a struggle not only for Bangladesh, in other countries as well, that they don't want to really involve students for their really good projects. Some of the countries have done it very well, where the university has a really good platform where industries can come and discuss their ideas, and they have a good collaboration. So there is something in terms of policy, both of university and the industry has to work, if we particularly talk about in Bangladesh. The second thing is, I think it's really important to reduce the bridge or bridge the communication gap. In particularly, if you talk about in Bangladesh, like industry, a lot of industry does not know what are the research or capabilities of students and academics are. Definitely, there are a lot of cases, as Professor Celia mentioned, that they approached and they didn't even know, like whether it's a council or the city or the government didn't know what actually is happening in a lot of research labs in Buet or other countries. And in that case, COVID is a really good example, I would definitely say, and with the same tone with Professor Celia and Asfar said, has shown that a lot of innovations can come out, this is a new challenge for everyone, and you have to be opportunist and try to grab those opportunities to bring your own new ideas to the solutions which is not existent from the industry. So the academics can come out and be innovative and show the business case. And we have seen from the Buet Biomedical Department, there is the Oxygen which came out, and it's a really good case study for Buet and also universities like Buet and developing nations, that how COVID can be a blessing in some cases. But again, we found Oxygen had some issues of propagating because the policy was not correct, and the stages were not really easy for them to go out in the market and do mass production. So it really shows, and again, I'm saying it's not a problem for Bangladesh. It's a lot of universities struggle when they have a really good prototype, really good project, to make it in a business model, because they are IP structure, how they protect the IP, how a startup will be generated out of that particular project, or a particular idea is not well governed, to be honest. And I have seen cases in Australia as well. So there are a lot of challenges, and definitely both industry and academy has to work together and try to find out, okay, if there's a good idea coming out, who will own it, how the business model will run, how we will structure the revenue sharing, and those sort of things. So that's really important to understand. Finally, I would say, if you come to the students, and I mentioned that industries are looking for ready graduates. Like ready means trained graduates. So any opportunity to train them, if it's not internships or any sort of placements, if universities can and somehow manage or have good relation with any of the industries, so that they can come and do very quick short trainings or 1 week trainings to know about what the corporate culture is, how the HR is, how to write reports and writings, how to what's professionalism, what is work ethics. I think these things are really, really important as well, which we sometimes as engineers undervalue. And we have seen a lot of bright students who wants to go in industry, not only where in Bangladesh industry, when they go outside, for working overseas, they struggle. So it's really important to have those soft skills. And so I think these are one of the few things which I can just add to my points at this stage. But end of the day, my kind of summary of this point, it's industry academy collaboration is not a single one-step solution. Okay, so I cannot give you a kind of like, you know, Aladdin Cherag, you take it and you have everything. This is contextualized. The problem we're facing in Bangladesh is different from in Australia. So I don't want to say, well, what Australia is doing or USA is doing. What Seda Madam said is really important. What actual rural problem is there, where no industry is bothered about solving this problem, there we can go, like academics can go, and then we can create social development cases. We can go to UNs, we can go to World Bank, we can go to not industry, we can go to other NGOs to fund us. There can be other innovative funding opportunities. We can do crowdfunding. There are other new funding avenues coming nowadays, and which can fund those projects and create a business and create a funding which is needed to propagate. So I think what I want to say is we have to be innovative in terms of our mindset, in terms of what new opportunities we can grasp, and then we look for it, and that's what my point is. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Imran Amin. And I think you have rightly pointed out that we should be opportunists. That's the main point that we can take out from your speech, that we cannot wait until when the industries will excite a new problem or give us new problems. We should ourselves be very energetic, and we should take the initiatives to find out problems. And we have many problems that industries are urban and city centered, and we have many rural problems, many problems that Bangladeshi people are facing, and we can actually go there, we can find out their problems, we can work on solving their problems, and even our students can take some social development projects and social business, maybe social businesses, to help them out. Very good concept, and I think we can take a note of this from universities. And I think still the topic of discussion is regarding. So there is a stake of industries actually. So we universities can survive actually. We can take our own projects, we can take our own initiatives, many things. But those projects will actually not help the industries regarding fourth industrial revolution. So if we focus our idea there, industries have to take the initiative. That's what my argument was when I initially pointed it out. So if they do not reach to us, that what are actually their problems, we actually cannot take the initiatives to, solve their problems. So that's why because the topic is such, I am actually putting the ball again and again in their court, because they have to reach us. We are actually arranging many programs. This program is one of them, and there are multiple programs that IEEE and other student branches, the departments, and because of this BATE and UGC, they have already. They are already energizing us, or they are already directing us to outcome-based education systems. We already are connecting or communicating with the industries. We are taking inputs from them, what they want from us. There is a drive there in the universities now, at least at recent times. But the same drive should be energized in the industries in Bangladesh. So otherwise, the two things cannot go together, because we need industries here. We need industry. You can see that the UGC and IEEE, they are saying that we need industrial advisory panels for the departments. Okay, these are huge advancements. Actually, if we can have positive support from the industries, we can have our own projects, and we can also help industries to solve their problems. We have enough intellectuals, many universities, many professors, many students, and we can start solving multiple problems together. And yes, I agree. Even if the industries do not come up, we can take our own initiatives and we can work. We should not sit idle. And with this, I think we have talked about lots of things so far, and it is sometimes very difficult to track all the things. I'm trying to take a note of everything, but we are getting into different directions with the discussion, and it is very lively, and this is very good. I think Dr. Imran Amin is trying to add something.
Just one point to that. It's a very good point. Again, I'm coming back to what you said, like why industry is not coming to you. just when you say collaboration, essentially what we are saying, industry has some problems and they want needs to come to the university for their research problems or do a problem solving through the research. A lot of industries, frankly speaking, don't have that facility or funding or the mechanism to do that. So that's why they don't come, and it's a global problem. I can say it's not just only in Bangladesh. But the same thing when you talk about collaboration. If you broaden the term collaboration, essentially your students who is graduating, end of the day they are ending up in industries, isn't it? So that's basically somehow to say it's it's helping them. Yeah. So they are looking for graduates so that they can hire, and they have in-house engineers who they can build on what they need. So that's their more provision. So that's a proven and tested method. So research collaboration is still sometimes it's they have skepticism for a lot of cases. It's IP issues. The models are not really good. And there are a lot of policy issues, as I said, like they don't want to go to that bureaucracy and those sort of things. So you know, it's a general problem, as I said. Like that's why it's not a one-stop solution, but it's an evolving process. Knowing each other, you know, communication, you know, and we have to walk through that and increase it day by day or year by year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Imran Amin. I think we have already covered the issue of research, and I think we can bring all of the things together. That what does the university do? They create a syllabus, they create a content, they create some teaching learning methodology, some pedagogy to deliver those issues, and then kind of they assess whether the students have got those things together or not. Because of time limitation, I would like to throw all of them together to you, to the panelists. I would like to go to Mr. Rakibul, because he is working in an industry right now, if I am not mistaken. He can start with the proceeding that the assessment methods, the teaching learning methods that we are using in the current Bangladeshi setting. Do you think that they are up to date, or are they enough to tackle the challenge of fourth industrial revolution?
Oh, for sure, they're like. But before going to that point, I'd like to add something. I'm working for Huawei right now, but before it, I worked for a startup. And in both companies I've seen, whenever we face a problem, we go to Google Scholar, search for relevant papers first. That's our first duty. Because like there are solutions to almost most of the problems, but the actual problem is it's not, we can't adopt it to our scenario. So we have a general solution from the academic people or academician, but we have to adapt the solution to our environment. So like academicians or faculties, they always do research on next generation stuffs or on innovations. So whenever we find a solution or a relevant paper, we try to contact with the faculties. I've seen in Huawei, I've seen in my previous startup company that they always value the faculty members. Even if in my last startup, we faced a problem, we found a paper on it, we contacted the author in China and he replied, and we initiated a collaboration with them. So I guess this is how it works in most of the industries nowadays. Even in Huawei, we because in telecommunication, it's a huge field and everyone is working on it. And there are a lot of competitors. So we always try to be on top, be with the researchers who are researching with the latest technologies. So we always value the conferences. We always try to contact with the authors with whom we can initiate a collaboration. About the syllabus or context, I believe like Bangladesh has one of the countries who has like most innovative, most the brightest minds in the world. Because even if you see I was following the ICPC results a few days ago, Buet was the Asia West champion. And if you look at the lists who participated, like IIT, the University of Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, even Buet beat them in the ICPC or in the coding challenge. So I believe like Bangladesh has the potential, has the right potential. We just need to direct it to the right direction. And one thing I'd say that we are missing is I believe like we have to work more on real life problem rather than like talking about some just some buzzwords. We have to work, we have to really apply them on our system. Like Celia Madam was saying, like we have to, rather than just talking about artificial intelligence, we have to apply them to our port so that our business grows. So I guess what we are missing right now is just directing our graduates to the right direction, where these researchers can bring out some potential financial effect as well.
Thank you very much, Rakibul. I think we have got a very important point from him, and that is, I think he has pointed out problem-based learning. I think that can be incorporated in our syllabus and in our teaching learning methodology, that we can go towards problem-solving kind of teaching learning activities. We can take a problem and we can try to solve it. Maybe it can be of multidisciplinary field, or it can be of a particular field, whatever the problem demands. We can have students from different departments. We can have students from the same department from different semesters based on their expertise, and they can work on the problem. And I know from my experience, all of us are engineers, that we actually learn better through that process, because we are actually solving the real life problems through our expertise and whatever we have, whatever knowledge we have. And I can recall that Professor William Spady, who actually generated the concept of outcome-based education, he's called the father of outcome-based education. He actually pointed this out, that when we learn in the university setting, that sage on a stage is lecturing and we are listening, this type of learning actually builds some discrete abilities amongst us, but they do not give us a holistic or correlated points, or we cannot actually grasp the whole scenario together. But when we work on a problem, we actually get a more comprehensive view of the problem at hand and the concepts that we can use there. So I think this is a very good contribution from Rakibul, that in the teaching learning methodologies, we can incorporate more problem-solving strategies or problem-solving learning strategies in the syllabus. So I would like to go towards Asfar Adib, Mr. Asfar Adib, and we would like his contribution on the topic of syllabus and teaching learning methodology and assessment methodologies of the universities.
Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. It's such a crucial topic, and especially I personally feel it now. I'm doing my PhD, maybe in a relatively older age as compared to my other friends. But when I resumed my graduate education here in Canada, I'm now doing a PhD in Concordia University, then I really felt this difference, that what syllabus and curriculum can make and how those can make us more real life oriented. Because what we see, what has been standard practice in North America, in Australia, in Europe, that is a continuous process to update the syllabus, and it's always focusing on the industry aspects. Because of course there is some different in the context of the culture, because in here we have mostly the education system is not always totally subsidized. So people really have to make sure that they're learning the right thing the time they're spending here. So that's why the universities and the authorities, they always try to keep it contextual. But same goes for Bangladesh. I guess in Bangladesh, there has already been initiatives to revise the current syllabus or curriculum. And of course, we have Madam here. Madam has always been giving a great effort to make sure that our things we teach are being taught in class, those remain relevant. So at the same time, methodology is always important, because yes, in the existing system, in the curriculum, the way universities operate, it may take good time to update the curriculum, because there are certain processes. Sometimes I guess maybe UGC also gets involved, but the faculties, they can play a great role, because they are the ones who are delivering the instruction in the class. So their teaching method matters a lot. Whatever is in the book or in the syllabus, they can really inspire the students. They can make real life connections. And again, coming back to the specific example of IIUC or the Chattogram scenario. So in Chattogram, as I was saying, there are so many examples of tech implementation. Some of these have already been done, some can be done. So whenever there is a certain course, be it about maybe 5G, IoT, smart city, or whatever else, so there is always the opportunity to relate. there can be ministerial visits, which IEEE has always been arranging. And there can be a lot of communication. So, or maybe the event like today. So the syllabus in the curriculum, along with this kind of sort of co-curricular options, they can all work together to make students ready for the next phase. And also in this virtual world, we now have everything available online. So it's always possible to learn more online. In fact, I would like to share scene here while studying as a graduate student, that I have very rarely seen my professors that they are mentioning what to say, traditional books. Nowadays, they always ask us to check that video from YouTube, that post from LinkedIn. So they are also adapting, So that's the reality of current world. So we all should try to follow it as much as we can. Thank you.
I think Asfaradib has given some more points on how the teaching learning method can evolve. He has talked about learning online. There are many resources available, and we can always direct our students. It is not necessary that I myself have to teach. I can also direct them towards the resources, because my duty is to teach them, coach them to get to the final conclusion. I can give them resources, I can give them websites, I can give them YouTube videos, I can give them whatever I think that is delivered in the nicest way or the most efficient way and more easiest way, maybe. So this is a very good point regarding teaching learning methodology that we can incorporate in the sub area of teaching learning. And I think I have learned, when I was reading about it, I actually found out many more things. For example, Rakibul was talking about artificial intelligence, and this is also an area where I found that the researchers are working. We know that the Facebook group, they are working with artificial intelligence, and they are giving us suggestions that are based on our interest. And the same thing can happen with respect to the students too. All the students are not same. They have their own strengths, they have their own weaknesses. And if we can apply those algorithms in those areas, they can get a more personalized learning experience for themselves. If we can go in that direction of research too, regarding education and advancement. With that, I would like to go towards Dr. Imran Amin, and the topic of discussion will be same. We want to know how can the industries actually help in content development for the universities, in the teaching learning methodologies, and how should they adopt for the fourth industrial revolution, and how should the assessment methods evolve if it is needed.
Look, I think both Rakibul and Asfar has made very good points. I'll just sing along with them that problem-based learning, having curriculum more updated, what is industry is doing, and helping students, especially engineering or IT students, to solve any real world problems. So when I was lecturing at Monash University, I did first year course in electrical. So these are electrical students, but the course was very multidisciplinary. It was the first time we did it in Monash, and in the first year student, the first 6 months, they coming from electrical background, we teach in one course starting from electrical background, fundamentals, then chemical fundamentals, as well as a bit of mechanical engineering. So they created standing lamp with variable resistance and those sort of things. This was a very interesting project where we make it very multidisciplinary. At the same time, the student have a goal to achieve, as well as they have to create a real thing. They don't have to just read or study the fundamentals and do mathematical problems. They actually make something in their labs and lab session also. These sort of innovative curriculum, definitely you can think. But at the same time, what Adib said is sometimes difficult for universities to adopt the changes, and it's really important for faculty members to be sometimes a bit innovative in terms of trying to get what's happening out there. In that line, I would say what Rakibul said, research papers is always good. We might not think no one really reads the research papers, but industry actually, and I also, being in the industry, read a lot of research paper, and we have to do a lot of problem solving. And end of the day, IEEE research papers and other research papers are the first things we look for. So definitely keep on going research. Again, when we talk about research problems, we, rather than having it very open-ended, what research problems are the industries are facing. Now, what I want to say, let's think our mindset from Bangladesh industry. Now, being a global, and having this, connectivity, students from IIUC, they should be able to see what's happening in the Bay Area. What are the industries which popping up? What are the startups which is gaining more momentum? Okay, and they can think of what are the problems there are. They can contact the alumni or look at the research groups, and they can think of or find what are the problems there are, and they can try to work on those research areas. And I know it takes a bit of courage and innovation, but there are possibilities. Why I'm saying that, because I have seen a lot of university students from India migrating to, whether Australia or USA, just after they graduated, because they did something in their final year project. They did something, and they wrote to the professor, and they liked it. And because they did something which resembles what's happening, a problem maybe in MIT or at Monash University. So these sort of things can be done. And I know in personal level, a lot of faculties in Bangladesh as well have created some sort of collaboration with a outside overseas research institute, and they are getting work, whether it's a design work or any sort of work. So these sort of things is also possible. So I think thinking outside of the boundary of Bangladesh will be helpful to have research collaboration and sometimes industry collaboration. And for example, areas like ODEX, we know of ODEX where there are works for software engineers, but there are some small scale companies or platforms where hardware engineers or prototyping work is already there. So university or students or group of students can try to solve those problems and create small prototypes. And I personally know some students from Bangladesh in some of the public universities. They're actually doing it. So it's not that there is not any scope, but there are scopes. So you just need to think a bit creative and be innovative. And I think having these platforms, and after these sessions, we can share of our networks and connections where you can find these things, and this can help you to find better opportunities. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Imran Amin. I guess there are some questions from the participants too, and I think many of their questions are answered through your answer. Here, what can the university faculties and the students do if they do not get the industries interested? I think you have given a very good alternative, even for the industry experience, because the industrial problems are delivered there in ODEX and other platforms. We can easily find those problems, and whether we submit it there, the solution, whether or not we submit it there, we can at least try here, and we can try on working on it, whether we can solve those problems, and this can be a good learning experience for our students. And that is a very good point, I guess. And I think we should go towards the audiences very soon. I just want a final remark from our Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz ma'am, and I want some direction regarding the assessment patterns. We know that we in Bangladesh are practicing the formative assessment patterns, where we have midterm examinations, final examination, plus test, quiz. And do you think that those are actually good assessment methods with the technologies that are coming up for fourth industrial revolution? Should we stick to them, or should we think about some innovative methods of assessment?
Thank you. Actually, I'm very much careful and caring about the assessment method. The assessment method that exists in our country, it is a well-thought process. In one meeting, I cannot say that through them. No. But in the assessment method, you as a faculty member, you have always your scope for improvement. Say there is a syllabus and you can do 20% modification. Say you have a lab. In the lab, when you are giving a project, it should not be like that on the project presentation, then they will show it, and then they will bring out those tips and use it in another experiment. No. My every project, since I returned from my PhD in the lab, every project was a paper. And I can give one example of Rakibul. Rakibul and myself, we did a project, and then Industrial Application Society president, we invited in 2015 for Women in Engineering Conference for the first time in the history of the world. And then I was thinking about how I can contribute to the Industrial Application Society. Rakibul and many people were thinking about, Madam is doing signal processing, what she will do in Industrial Application Society. Then I found that Industrial Application Society is so big. It can have a robotics application, it can have a humanitarian technology application. Then in the lab, I have given a project that many of them are from building the wheelchair. I thought that what we will do with the wheelchair is available. Anyway, then I have given them a comment that wheelchair available in the website is more than 2,000 US dollar. The beggar who has no hand and begging in front of the buoy, he does not have the capacity to buy the wheelchair of 2,000 US dollar. Then I suggested Rakibul and another student try to boil it down to 200 US dollar, like using windshield motors and other things, and think about that whether it can be, though it does not need to be controlled by automatic remote control. The person should do it by hand, and if the person does not have hand, he has voice, he can do it by voice, or if think that he cannot speak, at least he has eye to see, control it by eye gaze. Even though there is no hand, no voice, no eye, only thing he or she has is the brain. So we have tried to control the wheelchair by electroencephalogram. And Rakibul really did it. And in Industrial Applications Society Global Contest, we have submitted the project. I still remember. I was for a keynote talk in IIT Madras, and it was night, 3 a.m. I was communicating with the Rakibul and inspiring him that really submitted, and we submitted it, and we became the first prize winner. And Rakibul can remember that how it's created the contribution. So the assessment method is up to you. You inspire your student to do a project that can really solve many, because the assessment method, nobody will tell you how you assess it. Ultimately, you have to give a number. While giving you a number, like a biomedical patient preparation, you need to prepare your student. How you will prepare your student? Solve a real life problem related to your country, so make it sustainable, make it affordable, make it scalable. To me, you cannot make a problem for Noakhali. You have to make a problem for the solution for the whole world. So the assessment method, quiz, class test, lab test will be always there. So how you will bring innovativeness to you, it depends on you. So actually, I never fought for changing the whole assessment method. That was never my idea, because I know that staying in Bangladesh and fighting with those big big guys, it is very important. It is very difficult to really change the assessment method. I always try to contribute in the existing assessment method, how you can bring something which is completely outstanding and which can bring benefits and value to the project. Student learning based outcome will be really focused, and student will understand that, okay, this is not just a project I will present in the midterm presentation and then I will throw it and use the tip in the other project. No, we have given, you have every opportunity to give your student an idea that you can really make it, and you can write a paper. And if you write this paper as a part of the lab project, it is not mandatory for you. For this, your A+ will not be missed. But if you can do it, you will have a paper, then your graduate admission will be good, your recruitment will be easier. You cannot make this mandatory. Then many students who they will move away. You really need a motivation. Give them a bigger picture so that they don't really feel exhausted. They really feel motivated. And it is very difficult that you will really change the whole assessment system. If you can do more outcome like that, automatically the assessment will be changed. In your department meeting, it will be discussed, and then next time it will be mandatory that if as a part of the lab, there should be a project. The project should really contain this point. Then they will be given better health index. Then we can call this is the health index of the lab evaluation. This word health index of the lab evaluation will come if you can set a lot of example. And I can tell you it's a hard work. I don't like the idea that I will go to the table and tell that all your policies are wrong. It is our duty to bring the innovative ideas to really make the students engage. And in this assessment process, like in our class lecture, if I can bring a person from the Walton and tell him or her, give a lecture, will stop me. Nobody is there to stop me. I can do it. I can do it. So you can also do it. And not only that, when I will have a relationship with that Walton guy, and I will give him or her an opportunity to lecture at WIT and lecture at IIUC, she will feel so honored. What he or she will do, then I have the opportunity to tell him, you know, in your Walton, you are doing so much repetitive jobs. Give us a project. We will transform all repetitive jobs by a robotic hand. And they will take it then. They will take it then. And then if we can convince them, yes, ma'am, if we build the robotics hand for us, along with your students, will our employers, we have to get rid of our employers? No. Now the people who are doing these repetitive jobs, they do not have 5-pass certificate. And they will never lose their job. Better to maintain those robotic hand, we need to train those 5-pass people. That what will the outcome of the industry? The outcome of the industry will no more only a 5-pass employee. It will be a 5-pass skilled employee who will be able to do the minimum maintenance of those robots. So there is no questions of losing the jobs. So this is the assessment process involving industry also in your class, also in your assessment, and most important, giving your student project ideas which will support billions of people. Sometimes students come with, they are preparing a smart shopping cart in a smart shopping mall. I told them, that's a very good project because I like to appreciate people. Then I tell that you do not really need it. You really need to think of our underprivileged billions of people. You think about a senior citizen. What is the senior citizen? The senior citizen, my parents are living far from me. My in-laws are living far from me. If I give them a smart stick, they are so determined people, they will never use a stick to look them weak. Then what we did with our students, we designed a smart hat. So immediately the community has accepted it. The smart hat has a sensor. It helps protected from falling down. At the same time, it has given SMS to the registered people. At least a busy person like me has the opportunity to know that my mother has fallen down, and some registered people in the medical can quickly come to help my mother. So we have to think about the community where they really need and guide your student. Another example, because my grandma, who was actually my first teacher, maternal grandma, she died out of cancer and pancreatic cancer, liver cirrhosis, like that. So there are a lot of people, if you just have a statistics, a lot of people who are suffering from diabetes. You really need a glucometer for them for monitoring of those cancer patients and monitoring of those people. Can you guarantee me that every diabetic patient in this country can buy a glucometer? No. The response is flat no. And for glucometer, you again need expert nurse to take the blood. So what we need to tell our students in our lab project, please try to build a glucometer accurate equivalent to the existing glucometer, but that is non-invasive, where you can apply your AI, machine learning, and those techniques to really improve your accuracy. So I really trust our assessment method that has been well thought, and the change is really needed, but change will not come through a meeting, through a discussion. The change will come through a lot of examples. I appeal you humbly to go to my Google Scholar citation and see my paper. You will see that for every paper, I really try to connect a community problem and tell them that how my research is helping the community and can help the community. Now it is time for our sponsors and industry experts to support those projects, because they think that whether these projects can earn money for them. So the project now, I am in the process of convincing them that glucose, non-invasive glucose estimation device, portable and cheap, if they start doing it, can they ever end it? No. They will do it for Bangladesh, they do it for India, they will do it for Nepal, they do it for Sri Lanka, do it for every world, and they can even do it, send it to the China. So problem is, you have to always guide your student in the lab or in the class or in the assignment related to something that is solving a broader problem, so that it is scalable, and automatically it will, when many people will do it, not one people, automatically it will create an awareness in the department, and we will then really improve and change our assessment method. We will really give some credit for such projects, and we will really think that yes, such projects, when it will be done, they will get A+ or not. At this moment, I really softly, politely tell my student, no, this is not part of your evaluation. If you do it, these are the tangible outcomes. And then I thought that last 11 years, since I joined returning my PhD from Canada, my students are doing it. But I'm struggling from last 11 years to convince the industry experts to sponsor it. Because in the very beginning, they are interested about bringing something and selling to the country. They are not really still now interested to support a student for 40,000 taka. I always tell, my students are going to the Sonargaon University and getting 28,000 taka. Give 40,000 taka or 30,000 taka for my student, so that he or she can a full-time RA and then help you making this product. So my fight is not over yet, but that I have been started for last 11 years. Hopefully we can bring impactful change our assessment method, and by creating examples, and we can convince our industry. So I appeal every one of you to do the same thing or do the better and suggest me, so that unitedly in whole Bangladesh, we all can do the same practice, similar practice. When everybody will do the same thing, then it will be automatically a norm. That has been my actually agenda, or that has been my strategy for my whole life. I at first convinced the student, because they are my strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Salia Shahnaz. Actually, I like the way you delivered the things. You do not only throw your ideas, you exemplify them, and that actually helps our understanding, strengthens our understanding. And then it goes back to the original introduction that I gave about you, the visionary thinking process. You actually always think out of the box, and you are actually not only thinking about the university, you are thinking about the industries, and you are thinking about the whole education process that we are going through. And I think that's another thing to learn from you, that we should also think about this. How can we should not just talk the talk, and we should try to actually implement them in our curricula, in our, and we should propose those things from time to time, discuss those things and implement them. So I think we are running out of time. We would have liked to go on and on. I just want to take 1, 2, or 3 questions from our participants. There are many questions actually. There are some filtered out questions to me. I would like to address Mr. Rakibul. Just shortly, I think you can give the answers in 30 seconds, everyone. Just to make our participants happy. How to keep up with the rapidly changing technological advancements from university perspective? From university perspective, how can we keep up pace with the constantly rapidly changing technological advancements? Mr. Rakibul.
Well, I'd say it's easy. Like, it's all online, so you have to follow some technological leaders, I guess. If you, like, I myself, when I get 30 minutes lunchtime every day, so I try to watch a TED talk of MIT, of Stanford. So watching those TED talks, I even get a lot of new ideas. Or even you can watch the Google conferences on your free time. So instead of just listening to music, try to listen to a TED talk or try to listen to Google conference. What's they're presenting this year, or try to listen to Apple conference. What's they're presenting this year? What's coming next year? I guess it's it's a lot easier right now because you have access to all online repositories and everything.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rakibul. I think I want to go to Dr. Imran Amin for a last question to him. The question is that what is Anna's opinion on the saying that Industry 4 revolution will take people's job away?
Yeah, it's definitely it's not a simple answer. You can answer in various ways, but and Professor Celia has already given a really nice example and really solid example what will be happening. It's going to be we'll have more skilled, upskilled. It's basically upskilled. We're going to have the same people doing some more skilled jobs in general. So that would be number 1 point. But secondly, it's definitely there will be, all of a sudden there will be some people losing jobs. Definitely there will be some people losing jobs because there will be automation. For example, if you think of the textile industry in Bangladesh, if the automation comes, there will be losing jobs because at the same time you cannot train all of them and you cannot accommodate everyone to do the maintenance work. But we have seen in a lot of advanced communities like in Australia, USA, that when people left job, nowadays the whole at least in the Western countries, people have found it really easy to get skilled in a different area and then find a job. And we have seen a lot of examples, not only for someone has lost a job, but also someone wants to change their career path and they have learned new things. And they don't need to do a bachelor's or any master's. They can do some. It depends on the subject matter, and they can be skilled. And especially with the Industry 4, it not only like big data and data analysis. It's not something you have to do for data analysis. If you want to learn data analytics, there are a lot of tools and softwares like Google Analytics and Microsoft Power BI. You can learn easily if you have the background knowledge, and then apply it and look for jobs. So those people who is IT, I'm not an IT guy, they know better than me because they have been ever changing and ever evolving. They have changed a lot of their tracks and got upskilled. Rather than me being a communication engineer, I think I'll die as a communication engineer. But so I think with this whole industry revolution and AI and data analytics, it's more involving and ever changing, but the same thing, same pace. The upskill is becoming more modular, so people can upskill and apply it. So that's I think a general answer, just to make it short and sharp. Thank
you so much, Dr. Imran Amin. I think I'll go to Mr. Asfar Adib with a question. And the question is, considering the internet experience in Bangladesh, how tough will it be for Bangladesh to match pace with the other nations in terms of industry Revolution 4? What do you think? Because you come from a background of Grameenphone, I know that you have some idea about this.
Oh, wow, that's a really interesting question. So it's about internet experience. And absolutely, I think during the pandemic, I have heard so many people that they struggled with doing the classes online, working online, because internet speed is not at the best all around the country. And while working in Grameenphone, I actually had the opportunity to be involved with, when I first joined, it was 2G in Bangladesh, then 3G came and then 4G came. So it was great experience to see this evolution. And now we are in the time of 5G. So of course, things have been getting better, but it was 10 years back. At the same time, we have a lot to do. And in fact, one thing is in Bangladesh, still mobile broadband, the wireless broadband is the main medium. Actually, it should not be. As we all know who have been living or working outside that, fixed broadband should be the main medium if we really need to take internet to all parts of the country. So unfortunately, in Bangladesh, that part has been developing slowly, not only for technical challenges, also due to other administrative challenges. But we hope that at some point of time, we can expect fixed broadband connectivity, or there can be other ways. There can be satellite connectivity, and there are so many ways nowadays which can cover each part of Bangladesh, be it in Saint Martin, or be it be some remote place of Sylhet, or in Sundarban, or maybe in Panchagor. So again, here the researchers have a lot to contribute. Those who are working with communication technologies, they can help a lot. So that's one part. And at the same time, I really like this question that I guess is from my student, that someone is thinking in that way, that yes, internet experience need to be there for our better work. Because again, internet is there, but we see different sort of use for internet. So like with due respect to all, we cannot use internet only for our Facebook post or TikTok videos. We can do a lot with it. So I really love to see this spirit among the students, that they are thinking to use internet for better work, to do research, to learn, to contribute more. And that's how we can change. And as just coming back to the previous question before me, that how we can adapt. So adoption is so important. I can share a little thing about the Bangladesh industry, which is happening right now, that many of us might know, that there has been a big change going on about the workforce modality in the telecom industry, what we call the managed service or the outsourcing. Right now it's going on. Since I used to work there, I have my former colleagues work quite close to me. So I hear from them that now actually there is a big amount of outsourcing going on. So like, for example, people who used to work in telecom, they are still working there, but they are under some different organizational banner. They are part of the outsourced company, which is actually a global trend. But it teaches us that we have to be adaptable. So we really need to adapt. We cannot always expect to be in a safe, secure academic or professional job all around our life, because this is the world which is changing. We need to be dynamic enough. So sometimes our typical cultural thoughts may try to restrict us, but it's up to us. So we need to keep learning. We need to make the best possible iteration of our abilities. And that's what actually I really love to see. I'm really happy to see this spirit today among all these speakers and the participants. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. I think we are getting really late and some of our panelists have other appointments. I want to give Mr. Rakibul 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Please leave a remark. He has some urgency.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here today. It was really an honor to be here and talking in front of so much brilliant minds. I was once chair of IEEE Board student branch, so I know how difficult it is to manage everything and arrange such an initiative. I'd like to thank the chair of IEEE IIUC student branch, the advisor, the mentors, the professors, the panelists, and everyone involving with this great initiative. I guess they're setting us a standard how IEEE programs should be more collaborative, involving the industry persons, academic persons, and related to the next level topic, what's coming next. So this is what IEEE all about. Networking, which is, I believe personally, if you come abroad, networking is a key thing to success. I have some other mentors here for myself. They've taught me if you study for an hour, you should also network. You should also build a network for an hour, because we call in Bangladesh, I'm telling it in Bangla, mama chacha chhara chakri pawa jay na. Which is sort of like true here as well. It's not mama chacha, but you need to have a very strong network. You have to prove to others that you have the confidence in yourself. So it's not mama chacha, but it's still, in like good language, we call it networking. So it's really good. I feel really great that like the fellow students, the IEEE, those who are involved with IEEE, they are building this network. And I hope this will be very helpful for you. Trust me. And thank you so much for having me here. It was really an honor for me. Thanks.
Okay, just 1 minute. Although we are planning for it at the end of the session, our students have a small virtual gift for you, Mr. Rakibul.
Thank you.
It over to Speaker Rahman to show the gift.
These are the tokens of appreciation for our panelists. Thank you for coming to this event.
Okay,
sir, you can continue.
I want one last question, and we will wrap it up, inshallah, for Professor Dr. Seria Shahnaaz ma'am. The question is very relevant, and it came from one of our participants, that do you think that the fourth industrial revolution is going to bridge the gap between industry and university?
Thank you for the question. Actually, every new initiative is always to bridge any gap between expectation and achievement. So this post-industrial revolution is a new technique. Now, industry and academia are two terms. I have given so many examples, although I'm an academician, but I always think about the industry, and I try to solve those problems. So I think the topics for industrial academia revolution or fourth industrial revolution are so emerging. If both academia and industry, we can really equip ourselves with our time and talent, then I'm sure that we can come up with a very good matched condition to solve the problems of the whole nation using our knowledge. IEEE is a knowledge-based organization, and really I believe in IEEE activity, and I really feel that these are the things, these are the discussion that can really disseminate knowledge in a timely manner, and we can really empower our industry and academia with different online courses, different productive, innovative assessment method, different new technology in our course material, not just by proving and writing the proof. And also when we are making the question, there should be some innovative questions that will help our student to brainstorm. So I think these fourth industrial topics are so important that will really energize both the people from academia and industry, and ultimately, eventually, our gap will be reduced. But there will be always a gap, but we want to minimize the gap. I'm a very good optimizer. I believe in optimization. I hate pessimist. I don't hate pessimist. I don't hate the person. I hate the attitude of pessimism. So what is important? Optimization of the knowledge, learning the courses, adaptive yourself in your course delivery, adaptive yourself when you are connecting with your alumni, convincing your alumni, and innovative course material, design projects, motivating students, giving thousands of hours to the students, because we have chosen this profession. We could be a businessman, right? Earn the money. We have chosen this position. So I request everyone to really dedicate your time, talent and sometimes treasure to reduce this gap. The gap will not reduce automatically. We need a lot of effort, and most important, what we think, resource sharing. Everybody want to tell that I have done it. No, we have done it. It is important not to start from the scratch the way I started, the way I struggled. We are in such a position that we will exploit all the positive potentials of the IEEE and use this momentum to reach to the highest goal. And fourth industrial revolution topic is an important catalyst to really reduce this industry academia collaboration. What we need? We just need passion, effort, persistence, communication, networking, and never die attitude by the grace of Almighty. We will be there because our people are so talented. Only thing is we need unity. IEEE is a place of unity. IEEE is, if we divide into pieces, our knowledge will be into pieces and we can never reach to our goal. If we want to really have the resources and really implement industry academia collaboration using IEEE platform, then it is our time to be united and exploit all resources to reach benefit to the students. Otherwise, who will be the loser? Our students will be the loser. As a teacher, we cannot do it. So the achieving industry academia collaboration is the secondary thing. The first thing that we have to always keep in mind that we have to utilize and bring together all resources so that we can really implement industry academia collaboration and we can really help our students to know about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, IoT, smart agriculture, smart homes, smart grid, smart cities, which are very important. And Bangladesh is a country where SDG is very important, Sustainable Development Goals. Let us teach our students to our every project how that project can be connected to one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. If we can make them understand, then they will be our important stakeholder too. It's not only industry, not only faculty, our best strength, our best lifeline is our student. We have to really make them understand what is SDG. We have to bring them the emotion, passion for the country, and then they will be thinking that, okay, after passing, I will not go abroad. Even if I go abroad, I will be like Adib, I will be like Imran, who is continuously thinking about the country. So these are different elements. It's not only the it is not only the fourth industrial revolution topics. It's not only the industrial academia collaboration. It's a whole package, and we have to work together to make it successful. Thank you very much for providing me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Salia Shahnaz ma'am. Every challenge, every new challenge is an opportunity for us, and we should look at it at that angle, and we should be optimistic. That's the summary that we could conclude from there. I think we have gone so late that we should actually wrap it up. Now I go to every panelist for 30 seconds for concluding remarks, please. I start with Dr. Imran Amin. Please.
Sorry, thank you. Mohammed Mustafa, Amir Faisal, sir, as well as our chief guest, Shamimul Haq, sir. It was a great honor to be in the one of the panelists, and I will sing along with Rakibul's notes that it's really good to see IIUC student branch bringing out this sort of event at this very high time of industrial revolution, and also thinking about the topic of how they can or the university can collaborate with the industry, and this shows the dedication of the students, the student branch, and I thank and I'm very much surprised to see this sort of level of program, and also the agenda that given. It's very detailed. At the same time, the support of the faculty is really welcoming. It shows there is a good cohesion, and this is really important. And as we also work, closely, directly under Professor Celia Madam, and she has been always been key in having a good relation with the students and trying to understand what are the needs of the students, and she kind of taught us the importance of networking, being involved with the real world, and has groomed us. I think I can see this is in this IEEE IIUC student branch, and I hope very best, and I will definitely thank you all again for having me here, and I'll definitely want to be involved, and if I can help in any occasions, I please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amin. I go to Mr. Asfar Adib for his concluding remarks.
Thank you. It's been a great pleasure and honor to be here, and especially again to see this vibrant activity of IEEE IIUC student branch. So you have a beautiful campus, and Chattogram is a lovely place. And again, this kind of event, this IEEE collaboration shows that it is possible to think bigger, to contribute for the country, for the world, from wherever you are. So I am so delighted to see this number of participation. And with the guidance of Madam, with you all, Dr. Mustafa and others, I think the students, they can feel more spirited now to keep thinking ahead, to remain confident about themselves. And just to conclude with what Madam said, she made the perfect comment that we can discuss a lot, but discussion and talking, that is important. More important is working. So it's time for us to work. So let's keep collaborating together. From my end, though I am not physically present in Bangladesh, I would be happy to help in any possible way in the future, and wishing IEEE IIUC student branch all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asfar Adib. And we go for concluding remarks to our Professor Dr. Celia Madam.
Thank you for the opportunity. I will like to recognize people. Actually, IIUC, the way they thought it, I love the idea. So I want to give credit to them. My question is that not everybody in this webinar are the executive committee. So I appeal you, don't do IEEE activity just for position. Do it for your passion. Position will automatically come to you. You do not need to fight or bring your friends just to have a good support, good voting. I have to say this because I had passed a very hard time to do it. So it's important. I see you are doing good job. Automatically, you will be chosen as a leader today or tomorrow. So don't do any activity just for position. You are doing it for heart. You are doing it for passion, and that's the right thing to do. And I'm really proud of you. You know that your position may be delayed. Your award may be delayed. What cannot be delayed is your spirit. And never think that you are from a small university, you are from outside Dhaka. In my whole life, I never thought that I am from a small country, Bangladesh. I always thought I know my hard work, I know my spirit, I know my students, I know my potential. No matter what, actions will be spoken today or tomorrow. So this is very important for all of you. I think IIUC will be moving in that direction. And I want to say one thing on behalf of my Bangladesh section. But in last award of IEEE Bangladesh Annual, the outstanding student volunteer was from Russia University, a new university outside Dhaka. He has done such a tremendous job for improving the number of active, and automatically it was chosen by IEEE Bangladesh section award selectors. So I want to say that we are very diversified. We believe in merit and we believe in passion. You carry on your hard work, bring awards for your group, bring awards for yourself. I always, in my whole life, there are two types of award: group award, individual award. I always applied for the group award for my section first. Then automatically next year, my individual award came. So that's the important lesson. I will appeal to, if you see that all group awards came first, and many people, my fellow students, volunteers laughed at me. Madam is so foolish. They didn't tell that I am foolish, but they were laughing at me that I'm striving for the group award. I know that if the group award is there, if I can prove that I can lead a section, an affinity group, a chapter very well, my individual award will be automatically count. So I will request every young volunteer, mentor, advisor here to concentrate on the passion, and you will be automatically one day will be the section XCOM, and section will be proud to promote you in region, in societies, and in the global world. It is a matter of time. So we do not do IEEE activity just to make many groups. We do IEEE activity to really have impactful, tangible impact so that the name Bangladesh reaches to the rest of the world. It is very difficult to make people understand where is Bangladesh. Where is Bangladesh? So staying in Bangladesh, make yourself visible to the rest of the world. The struggle I had, you have to take the momentum. You have to utilize it. Say in different categories, I have won the award. Now who is next? I cannot win the same award next time. It is you. Why not a volunteer from IIUC student branch? WA student branch has received the best award in Region 10 and become best in the whole world. Now who is next? Why not IIUCWA student branch? One student from United International University, Nasimun Nobi, was the Region 10 outstanding volunteer. Who is next? Why not IIUC student branch chair or IIUC student branch chapter chair? So this is a good word, and we believe in recognition. I know that you will, only thing is that don't do it for the position, do it for your passion. Bring recognition for your university, bring recognition for Bangladesh, and whenever you do, just think about Bangladesh. Just you cannot do anything that can really hamper the reputation of Bangladesh. Your every body language should be ultimately to the rest of the world. It is Bangladesh. We are working for Bangladesh. And I have already told you how difficult to make you understand what is Bangladesh. Forget about do it. At first, people need to know Bangladesh, then do it, then IIUC. So think about Bangladesh and do passionately. You will be the winner. You will be the executive committee members. You will be the award winners. You will be the Region 10 committee members. You will be the global committee members today or tomorrow. Just my appeal is, if you need any help for me, I don't want the way I struggle, you do the same. It needed 29 years for Bangladesh to achieve something. So I don't want the next volunteer will wait next 21 years, 29 years. I want maybe next 10 years, Bangladesh will achieve another milestone. That's the purpose we are here for doing IEEE. We are doing this industry academia collaboration. Although I could not be brief out of my emotion, but I really meant it. And we have to really believe in it. And I know you believe in it. That's why you have done such a wonderful program. And I'm really proud of every one of you, because you are really believing what should be done to really promote our students, promote our faculty, at the same time, promote our nation. This is very, very important. Thank you very much. Wish you all the good luck for your all future endeavors. Don't forget to report it to the Region 10 newsletter. don't forget to report it to the IEEE Day Global website. It is very important for our visibility. Take care, stay blessed.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Salia Shahnaz. And I think with this, we can come to the end of the discussion. I cannot thank the panelists enough for taking their time and finding their time to attend here and make this a very interesting discussion. I have enjoyed, I myself as a moderator, I have enjoyed every bit of it. And I think, though it was very tough to moderate, and this is my first experience as a moderator, I've tried my best, but I think it was a very difficult task to take all the notes and where the discussion is heading and everything.
Now I will tell section to monitor the recording and introduce award for best moderator. You know, you deserve a credit. You were a wonderful moderator.
Thank you so much, madam. That appreciation means a lot. And I think, and this is my first time actually, so I am open to criticism, and anyone who thinks, even the organizers, they can connect with me and tell me how could I improve. And I think the personals that are here, for example, the teachers, the industry personnel, and the students, everyone have taken their notes, I think, and there are many thought-provoking issues that have come up here, and many things that we as universities can do, many things that industry personnel can do, many things that students can take their initiatives. And I think all those things will guide us in our future endeavors. And some of the panelists have said that they want to collaborate with us whenever we need, and that is a very useful invitation, and we gladly receive it. And we can make sure that we'll time to time keep connected with you and try to help, resource sharing and other things that Professor Dr. Salia Shahnaz ma'am has said, and we'll try to have those things here also. So with this, I think we are running out of time. We have a speech from our session chair. I am handing this over to our host of the program. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much to our panelists for such an enlightening discussion and motivating speeches. So now, with delight, I would like to call upon our session chair, Engineer Muhammad Abdul Qadir, Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of IEEE Robotics and Automation Society, IISc Student Branch Chapter, to share a few words with us.
Honorable speakers, moderators, chief guests, and learned audience, Assalamu alaikum. I'm very much grateful to our speakers for their nice thoughts and speech. Especially, I'm thanking Professor Dr. Salia Shahnaz Madam. She is our leader, our enthusiasm. His presence make us proud. So he helped us a lot. Although we are a small student branch chapter, but Madam helped us in such a way that he's part of IIUC. And many times we got Madam, even our students can communicate with Madam for such an events. So I'm very much grateful to Madam, also other speakers. Hope you will remember us, and we will get you in future in any programs of IIUC in future. And I'm also thanking the moderator of this session, Sufamir Faisal, although he has some familial problems, but still he gave us time to make this session successful. I'm also thanking my students. They are outstanding. They are doing many good jobs. They are arranging many programs. So I'm very grateful to them. I hope they will continue their work. And finally, I am thanking the participants for participating in these events. And personally, I learned a lot of things. I got many informations which may help me in my teaching. Again, I am grateful to the speakers and all the participants and the organizer. And thank you all. I'm ending my speech here. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam. So thank you, sir, for such kind words. I would like to once again thank our today's panelists and guests, our panel moderator Mustafa Amir sir, and show our endless gratitude for being with us here. Even though they have very busy schedules, thank you so much for this insightful discussion. Also, our kind gratitude to the audience, especially our participants and executives, to bear with us during this webinar. There is a feedback form in the chat box which we request you all to fill up in order to get the participation certificate for the participants. We have sincerely approached the end of today's session. I hope the attendees have learned something new from this enlightening session and are motivated to take initiatives and offer their contribution to the fourth industrial revolution. Thank you all once again for being here with us today. Assalamu alaikum and have a good night.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
All
Allah.
the time.